Hello and peace greetings, and it's so exciting to meet all of you in another session of Insights with Transformational Leaders. And today we have with us Miss Nara Thompson. Welcome, Nara.
Thank you, Azeeza. I'm so excited. Woohoo! Let's
Yes,
do it.
and it's really wonderful to have you with us. This program is a project of Go Global Business School, and we bring audiences amazing transformation trailblazers who have been there, done that, and experienced immense regeneration of themselves. And here we share with everyone to inspire them, the audience, and get them to step up to a new life of power and clarity. So we're so happy to have Miss Nara, who has been an amazing life purpose and empowerment coach, and she is from Mongolia, settled in USA for the last 27 years, and now in the last 7 years she's started her work in this space of coaching. So we're gonna really get her to share with us what's the space that she has been operating from and what she can offer to the women and men to a new life of empowerment. So Nara, we are so excited to see your life journey, and I want to ask you what inspired you to start the journey that you are in right now.
Thank you, Aziza. What a great question. Thank you so much. You're going to actually help me to look back and remember how it all started. So I'm really happy to take you on the journey of my success. So I'm an immigrant to United States. I came to United States with no English and $200 in my pocket. So now I have a very successful coaching business. And how it started? Well, very simple. I was a stay-at-home mom, full-time mom, when I was asked by community leaders to come and speak at a women's conference. So they asked me to represent all the mothers in our community. And this was a huge conference. So I said, okay, so who am I participating with? And they gave me names of people, and I had to look them up. And I was so overwhelmed and discouraged because these women were of power and accomplishment. And at that time in my life, all I did is change diapers and go to grocery stores and take my kids to a park and be a wife and mother. So I felt like I could not live up to that. I should not stand on that stage with these very accomplished women. So I kind of thought maybe I should say or come up with some kind of excuse not to show up. That's when my husband stepped in and he said, Nara, you've always stepped up. You always showed up. So I know you can do this. So I've decided that, oh, well, maybe I'll just show up and say something and hopefully it'll be something smart. So I stood on stage, or we sat on stage, and everybody one by one took the stage and they spoke. They spoke amazing things, and my turn was the last one. So Aziza, I went up to the stage and all I could say is that I haven't written a resume for many years. I didn't know what else to say. And there was a laughter in the audience, and that kind of relaxed me. So then I was able to tell my story of immigration, of making my own new life here in America. And there's some of the changes that I've made in myself. After the conference, there were so many women that came up to me and said, I want to be like you. I want to be confident like you. I want to have purpose like you in my life. And I was like, what, really? So from that time on, I was able to share some of the things that helped me to have confidence and helped me to have purpose in life. And gradually that just, talking to women and helping women turned into a very successful business.
Wow, that is so cool. You just show up in this program and then you get so inspired by yourself. I think that that's what happened. You inspired yourself to doing what you're doing right now. Isn't that amazing?
So if any of you listening to this right now and you feel very small, guess what? I felt that too. But because I showed up, because I just said, you know what? I can do hard things and everything just rolled from there, just like a rock that was pushed from the mountain, and I just never stopped since then. So
Wow.
you can do it.
Wow. You want to share with us in a couple of words how it was for you when you came from Mongolia? I mean, like that speech that you made, possibly like in 2 minutes. What is that? What was that for you from Mongolia to go into US with $2 and no English? What was that for you?
Well, it's $200.
Oh, sorry, $200.
Yeah, but at the time it felt like it was $2. So I grew up behind Iron Curtain, in the satellite country of USSR, in Mongolia. And my life was very different from many children around the world. And although I spoke Mongolian at home, I went to Russian private school and I lived in a Russian community. So for many years, as a child, small child, I used to think I have blonde hair and blue eyes because that's all I saw is my friends and my teachers and everyone around me. So in that community, I felt very safe and happy. But there were moments where my father felt that I was losing touch with my Mongolian culture. So what he would do in the summer, he would send me off to my grandparents' house, and they lived a nomadic lifestyle. They lived, in countryside. They were herders, and so that was an amazing experience I had. And my grandfather instilled in me this desire to achieve greater things. He would say something like, listen, you learned how to speak Russian. I bet you can learn other languages. And that made me feel like, I can do anything I want. Wow. About early in 1990s, there was a huge change in political life in Mongolia. And the Russians that were living in Mongolia were sent home. That included my teachers, and my school for a while closed down because there were no teachers to teach us. At that time, I was saying goodbye to my Russian teachers at a train station, seeing them off to Moscow and other parts of Russia. And I had this burning desire to see them again. So I knew that I would go study in Moscow somewhere. And that's when something happened. One of my teachers leaned over to me and very quietly, but very sternly said, Nara, don't you dare to come to Russia. You have no place in Russia. You need to go to America. At that time, I've never heard of America. All I could think of America is capitalist country, enemy to what I was taught as a child. And so I thought, that's just so bizarre that Russian teacher, someone who was my mentor would say, go to America to study. So that's what I decided to do, is to believe him and believe that maybe that's my future. So I'm glad that I from that time on, I started thinking, instead of going to Russia, I started thinking about America. And that's how I showed up in America. I just decided to follow that feeling that I can learn a new language, that I can be successful in America. And I came to America.
Wow. And what happened when you came to America? What was it like? What you thought?
No. America, they waited for me, was very different. Harsh reality set in when I realized that everything cost money. I didn't have friends. I didn't have family. I didn't have support. So there were many days I felt lonely. And there were many days I wanted to go home. I wanted to be just in that comfort zone, because this was just so hard. And I couldn't speak English to explain the feelings that I was just going inside of me. But there were moments also of success. And let me tell you one of those stories. So when I landed in America, I decided that I'm going to invest in myself. So instead of just going and finding a job, I decided that I'm going to go and study. I'm going to learn this language, because in America, if you do not speak English, it's really hard to find a good job, to do other things. And so I decided that's one of the empowerments for women, is to study the language of the country that you're living in. And for me, it was English. And so I decided that all the money that I will make, I will invest in my education, not in pretty purses, not in makeup, not in clothing. So for a longest time, I didn't have money to go shopping, or there were days where I didn't eat all 3 meals, but it was okay because I had purpose. I wanted to be an educated woman and to have that American diploma. So when I landed in America, I decided that I should color my hair. My mother would never allow me to color my hair. So I said, okay, I'm free from my mother. I'm free from my father. I'm going to do this. So I went to the nearest grocery store. There was like a tiny little grocery store next to my school campus. I went in there and wanted to purchase a black hair color, but the only hair color they had was blonde. So Azeeza, I just bought it, because I wanted change. I wanted to start new and fresh. And so just for token of that, I wanted to color my hair and feel like I'm a new person, So I colored my hair, and it turned out to be very like light brown, and I looked very different. So the next day when I showed up to my classrooms, everyone said how beautiful I looked, how unique I was. And that's when I realized I can make it in America because I am unique. I am different. And they value that. They value individuals. I'm not just another number. I'm an individual. So I felt really happy to be in America, to put money into my education, and to be okay that I'm different.
Oh my God, that is so wonderful. And what you are sharing is what every woman or person that comes out of the country to another new space, wanting to feel belonging, will go through. And we can relate to, so many people that we know have gone through that, and so relate to you when you are saying what you are sharing. I think it's really wonderful to hear that and share your story with us. It's so inspiring. So tell me, Nara, what do you feel? You've been working with women last 10 years. You said you've been working on connecting with women and doing all of this. What do you feel women right now in the world lack?
Well, there are about close to 4 billion women in the world, Azeeza. So I don't know if I can tell, about everybody. Sure. But let me just focus on my clients, on people that come to me to get help, to get coaching. So there are 2 things that my clients lack. It's confidence and it's purpose, because they feel like they're stuck. They feel like they're living somebody else's life. And so when they come to me, they have very low energy. They feel stressed. They feel depressed. And when they come to me, I know that they're asking for a purpose and they're asking for confidence. And so I put them through a program, and it gets them to feeling really good about themselves, learn to feel their purpose again, because they did have a purpose. They've just forgotten it through the years, right? And to help them to feel that purpose again. And most importantly, to have confidence. Because confidence comes from competence, meaning from skills. When you're learning different skills, like self-care, for example, it's so important. It just sounds so silly to just take care of yourself. That's a skill. Yes. That allows the person to feel confidence after they have developed these skills that I teach.
And that says it all. We're talking about having a purpose, which is like something you wake up to every day. In fact, that's the only thing that you can wake up to every day, feeling happy and excited about to live. And empowerment, then do what? Then what's next? And I love it that you say competence is needed for people to feel confident. I think that's so rhyming and perfect. Thank you for that information. But I want to ask you, as much as we talk about women in general, and you have been working with women, and at the same time, we are observing a lot of Asian women now stepping up, even when they are not in their own country like you. So what do you think Asian women right now are going through in the world? And is there fear in them, or what's going on?
Yeah. So, Azeeza, you and I are talking at a very difficult time in human history when we're experiencing a lot of turmoil, wars, we're experiencing hate crimes, we're experiencing a lot of discomfort, and so this is not a happy time, for the whole world, but this is a very powerful time where we can actually look into ourselves and realize that we can make change. We can make changes, and that means we can create some impact in this world. And so one thing that I know for sure, we're always talking about leaving a footprint, right? As an Asian woman, I think that if I just make people that come to me feel confident about themselves and wanting to be visible, I think I made that impact. I think I've left footprint here in this world. So I try really hard to listen to women that come to me and listen to their fears and help them to overcome some of these fears, which are actually not real fears. They just made them up for themselves. There's somebody told me recently that fear, FEAR, stands for, let me see, false evidence appearing real. So we just think it's real, but most of the time it's not. So I can only speak for myself and my clients and people I know. I can't speak for all of Asian women, but people that I work with, they're afraid of being visible because they're afraid to be judged. They're afraid to be misunderstood. And the culture that we as Asian women live, sometimes leave us in the shadows. So we kind of think that if we want more, or if we want visibility, if we want to be powerful, if we want to be ambitious, it's not good, or that we're not good people, or if we're not good woman. So I just listen to their fears, and I help them to change that mindset and that story that they've been told, because it is false. I think we all made to be visible. We all have our unique voices. And so we just have to make sure that we're helping each other amplify those things. And I'm all about, helping Asian women, the ones that I work with, especially immigrant women to United States, Canada, and Australia. Those are mainly my clientele. I help them to be visible, to become visible, and not to be afraid of judgment, criticism of other people, and then also amplify their voices. And that's what I help them with. So I think we just need to learn that fear means that we just need to learn to get over it. We need to do something, although it's hard and it's fearful, but we can go through that process if we have help and support.
Yes, definitely. And, I love that, fear is false evidence appearing real, and people it's a Maya, it's an illusion. And until we don't know it's going to happen, and it's something of the future most of the time. And what you are sharing, the judgment that we put on ourselves more than anyone to start with, right? So it's so important to be guided, to be mentored, to have someone beside us telling us, it's okay, you can do it. That's all you need. And I'm so excited to hear that you do that for all these amazing women that show up in your life and guide them in that space. So as we kind of round off the session, and I just want to ask you, what is the conversation that you have with women usually, in terms of their purpose? You said you guide them on their purpose. So what is the normal conversations that women get with you?
Yeah. So Azeeza, you're a powerful woman. You were just talking to me just now. You made me want to be better, and just do amazing things. So you're so inspirational. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So what I wanted to kind of tell you is, like I said, I can only speak for myself and the people that I work with. And some of the things that I notice with my clients is they're afraid to make mistakes. There's such a thing in at least the women that I work with in Asian culture, that we've taught to be perfect. to do everything from the get-go perfectly. And also we have been given high expectations from our parents, from family, from relatives. So I think we try really hard to be perfect right away. But Azeeza, there's no such thing as perfect right away. It's a process. As we, just keep going and doing, in that doing, we learn from our mistakes if we make mistakes, and we just, become better and better. So one of the things that I really focus on when these women come to me and they're lost, they feel stuck, is that I remind them that they just have to get moving. They just need to start at it. And that creates momentum, that creates energy, and they start to get, thinking about their purposes, what they used to believe and what they used to dream about. And that really helps them. And realizing also there's no such thing as perfect. And then that really helps them. Another thing is most of the women that I work with, they also have shame stories that they were told from as a child, or as the communities that they grew up in. For example, they were shamed, called names, bullied, or said that as a woman, you are nothing without a man, you're not worth of anything, so why should we educate you, because you're going to be in the kitchen anyway. Stuff like this really just does not work in America. So when they immigrate to America, that story doesn't work, doesn't serve them. So they need to start letting go of some of these stories and start to create their new stories. And so that's what I help them with. And so they gain, confidence. They create a purpose. They start dreaming because they realize, oh, wow, I can look at this from a different angle. I no longer have to believe this because this is not my own belief. It was just given to me. So these are the amazing, powerful transformations that they have. So it's no such thing as perfect. Everything takes process. When child is born, he or she doesn't just walk right away. We don't talk right away. We don't eat meat right away or solid foods. We don't right away go to school. It's a process. So it's the same thing with our setting goals for ourselves. It just takes a little bit of time, but we just need to be consistent. And then another, encouragement I give them is to remember that some of these stories that they're carrying around, it no longer serves them. So they can just change it. They can just let go of that and just close that door behind them, or chapter of their story behind them, and start writing something new. And that really gives them power, and they feel really happy to know that.
Oh my God, that is so amazing. I love it. It's not perfect. It's a process. Okay, guys. So take your time to get yourself into the process of doing what you want to do to the best of your ability. So, Nara, what's your final word for women out there to live a fulfilling life? What would you tell them?
So there are 4 things I need everyone to focus on. And they came to me actually as a silly experience that I had. First home that my husband and I built, we built an office so my husband can work there from home. And I would sometimes go in there and write emails to my friends and things like that. And one day I was sitting in his office and typing something on the computer. This happened a long time ago when my children were very little. I realized that the chair that I was sitting on was shaky. And I'm sure, Azeeza, you're sitting on the chair right now, and I'm sure it has 4 legs. I'm sitting on a chair talking to you. It has 4 legs. And so I turned that chair around and I tried to see what's wrong. And I realized one of the legs was about to break. And I thought, oh my goodness, my husband is much taller, bigger. So if he sits on this thing is going to, he's going to fall down on the ground. So that thought kept coming to me, days and days and months after. And I realized that my success and happiness depended on 4 things as a woman. This was my experience. So I thought of the chair to be this very stable thing that provided stability and provided happiness for me. So I thought, okay, what are the representation of these 4 legs? So first leg represented for me health, because if you have no health, then tons of amounts of money is not going to do anything. You're going to be in the hospitals and you're going to be paying bills, and you're going to have stress, and your family will suffer. So it's really important that we take care of ourselves, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. These are all just part of the health. The second leg represents, to me, financial security. So as a woman, especially, someone who for a while stayed at home with my children, it's very important that I'm learning skills that could help me earn money to provide for my family if I'm staying home. Or if I'm working, I want to make sure that I'm getting paid for my skills. And so if somebody, wants to, for example, immigrate to America, first thing I would suggest is to learn English. That's a big skill that is needed here. So the third leg, for me, it would be in a relationship with my husband or your loved one, your partner. Because it's very important that as a woman, you have that security, you have that backing. And I've been married for 23 years, very happily married. So I worked on it. And then the fourth thing for me, it's how I raised my children. As a mother, as a woman, when I'm 60, 70, if every night I'm going to bed and I'm worrying about my children, I cannot be a happy woman. I might have tons of money in the bank. I might be successful. I might be famous. But you know what? Inside, I would be so miserable. I would be so unhappy. And I would be thinking about my children and worrying about them. So it's very important that we take that time to invest in our children, to give our time to them and love to them, and make sure that we guide them and lead them. And we are coaching our children. So I'm, first of all, not a coach for others, but I'm a coach to my children. And I have 3 wonderful children who are doing wonderfully. So these are 4 things I would say that we need to focus on.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And you have given such valuable insights, so much of details. This has been very fulfilling, definitely for myself and also the audience, in terms of, really stepping up your game as a woman and, empowering, especially migrant women like immigrants, right? So they would see so much of value in your sharing. And also what you said about the 4 pillars, 4 legs that of a chair, I love that explanation on that. And this 4 pillar is so important for women to really hold themselves, especially in new grounds, in new places. And that will give them, it's not outside, it's your own 100%, yourself 100%. For that to happen, these 4 things that you talk about is just perfect. Thank you so much for your valuable time. Is there anything else you want to share with everybody as we close the session?
No, I just want to thank everyone who listen to us. Wow, what an amazing experience you have given me, Azeeza. Thank you so much for this opportunity for me to speak to your audience and to connect with them. If you guys are watching me, I just want to tell you how much I love you and how great you are and how whole you are. You are worthy of all the things that you're dreaming of, because I used to think I'm not worthy, but now I know that I am. And that feeling that I'm whole, that there's nothing in me that I need to change. And there's, that feeling that I can live this life and I'm going to do it my way. It gives me confidence and purpose when I get up every morning. So I wish you the same. And if you guys need help, I'm here to help you. So please reach out and keep in touch and reach out and tell me if there's anything I can do for you. I would love to.
How can they get in touch with you, Nara? How can they get in touch with you?
So Azeeza, you and I are so huge, so into Clubhouse. So if you are on Clubhouse, then you'll find me as Nara Thompson on Clubhouse. And if you go to Azeeza's room, I'll be always there because we co-mod rooms together.
Yes.
Also on Facebook, you will find me as Thompson Nara. You put my last name first and then my first name last, you'll find me there. And I'm, of course, on Instagram as Nara Thompson. So please do reach out. I'd like to help you. I have many courses that I provide for free if you need help. if you feel like, maybe you're just needing a little bit of confidence, little bit of boost, little bit of energy, just let me know. I would like to provide those courses for free for you, so you could sit at home, watch them, and get excited and inspired and do something about your life. It's a wonderful life. I'm happy that we're sharing this earth together, and we can do this. We can do hard things.
That's right, we can. And we have also put in the comment box on the details, and definitely you can reach out to us on Go Global Business School, and we love to connect you with Nara. For those of you who are tuning in on the social media, you may want to share this video. I think you must share this video and inspire other women and other people who are into new space in their life to create a purposeful life for themselves. And definitely, we look forward to seeing you in our next session with another amazing transformation leader. Meanwhile, thank you, Nara, for your valuable time. Really appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing everyone real soon. Have a blessed day, everybody.
Thank you, Azeeza. Bye, everybody.
Bye.